Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, we live. What up? We back, everybody. We are back. Shout out to everybody that
Yeah.
was waiting in the chat, everybody that's gonna be watching on Facebook or on YouTube, whatever. So yeah, welcome back, everybody, to Culture Class. We are live, episode 9. We have a lot to discuss, obviously, because a lot has been going on, particularly in the hip-hop world. So yeah, and also afterwards, if we got time, we'll talk a little bit about, some of you might seen that we took a kind of like a recent group trip to LA. So we could talk a
Yes.
little bit about the food that we ate and kind of the stuff that we experienced and saw in LA. But before we talk about the crazy stuff, because we all know the craziness that's going on that we got to
The
get to, but
madness.
the madness. But first, before we even get into that, let's talk about this TikTok thing, man. So 2 weeks ago, the House of Representatives voted to ban TikTok from all US app stores if China, the Chinese developer, I think their name's like Bright Time or something like that, if they refuse to sell the app to a non-Chinese distributor. So basically, yeah, it is exactly what they're saying. America obviously feels like this app that is owned and operated by the Chinese government, which, for the record, the developer is claiming that they are not in any way affiliated with the Chinese government. So, take that how you want. But
Yes.
America is obviously concerned that China is using TikTok to get information, personal information from US app users, and particularly, obviously, that use TikTok. And obviously, there's some other people that have feelings about TikTok, including me, about kind of like the algorithm and what we as Americans see on that TikTok algorithm as compared to other countries, of course, China included. So that's what's going on, man. And they voted for it, and apparently it's happening. And from what I'm hearing is that the developer, the guy who runs this, he's refusing to sell it. So if he's refusing to sell it, that's looking like, I guess, TikTok is just gonna be banned. But before we even get into all of the, how we feel about that, if this does happen, let me ask you: you think there's going to be any way at all outside of literally hacking your phone to use TikTok if this happens? If you're in America,
Probably VPNs, but
mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna want to go through a VPN just to get on TikTok.
Yeah, just
You
to
know what
be
I'm
on
saying? I
TikTok.
think
Yeah,
it.
that's
I
kind
think
of.
it'll be over with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you think it's completely over? Completely over?
In America at
Yeah,
least, I
yeah,
feel like they would still use TikTok. Other places, maybe
right,
even still in China because they
right,
got the
right, right,
TikTok in China. It's just their algorithms a little more safer, I guess, say or whatever you want to call it, just more
right.
good for the child brain, I guess, because they do a lot more. What's it called? STEM in their algorithm than United States. So
Got you. So you don't think it's something that China's intentionally doing? Like, you don't think they're trying to poison the mind of American kids? It's just part of the algorithm, is what you're saying?
it's just I don't think they're trying to poison the mind of American kids. I mean, I would say half and half, like, right? I feel like they probably seeing people like, "Hi, look at these American kids, like they're stupid, like they
Yeah.
fall for this, they do this." You know what I'm saying? It kind of goes hand in hand, right? I don't think they're purposely trying to do it. You know what I mean? But I feel like they purposely show the kids in their area the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like they show them
Right.
the stem cell research. They show them learning things on TikTok because they know the benefits of it. But I don't see
Right.
TikTok being too much more different than an Instagram or a Facebook algorithm or even a YouTube algorithm.
Right, right, got you. So all right. So you're basically saying that they're China's kind of innocent in all this. Do you think America's taking it too seriously? Like, do you think they maybe shouldn't be this concerned about if the Chinese government is getting our information or not? Or do you think they're making a good move here?
I feel like it's a good move. I do feel like it's a good move. Like they gotta take action now because I feel like China has too much control when TikTok has so much control in a way over the youth,
Mhm.
even if they may not currently be using it for bad, who
Mhm.
knows? But it's like they have that control, so they can possibly use it for bad in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so the U.S. is good that they're trying to take control of it because it's like I don't know if you're using it for bad right now, but you have the
But you could
this is
eventually,
it's
yeah.
like a Yeah, it's like a social media nuclear bomb. Like they have
Yeah, yeah,
that
they could,
power
yeah,
where if
pull it,
they
yeah.
wanted to, they can do some crazy stuff.
Right, 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 right. So I guess in other words, if that's the case, then America's kind of making the right move, I guess, by being preemptive on what could happen. Because, like you saying, if China wanted to pull that trigger, they could.
Yeah, and I believe so, man. It's just like I don't know. It's like having, because we know China and America aren't the bestest of friends, right?
Right.
So that's like leaving your children in the hand of somebody who's not the bestest of your friend. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
giving them
Yeah,
power
yeah.
over your children. It don't make sense. So America's like, yo, if you're gonna have if this app is gonna be around, it has to be by somebody on American soil. Like
Right. They
it's
at
just
least got
it,
to
it just
be
is what it is.
involved.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right,
Like so
right. No, I
I
get
I
that.
mess with it. I like the idea.
Yeah, I like the idea. I feel like, let me, I'm not the biggest TikTok fan to begin with, so I guess my opinion is kind of biased, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like TikTok, and sometimes I feel like maybe it's me getting older and I'm just like, oh, like the way maybe older people looked at Instagram when it first started popping or whatever. But it's just like, I just feel like TikTok is just like, ugh. Because my thing with Instagram, even though we don't use it as technically as intended, it's supposed to be a platform to showcase like photography and what's going on in your life, which is technically what we do. We just kind of, you know, it's not in an artistic way anymore. But
Yeah,
at least I feel like that gives Instagram some sort of benefit or some sort of like is beneficial to us in some way. But TikTok just often just seems like it's just dumping information and just dumping like, I don't know, like social media jokes and pranks. Not saying that there
yeah,
ain't nothing on TikTok that's helpful, because I know, when you go out of town, you might go to a different city or something. You could go right to TikTok and see all the best places that people go to or the best food they recommend. So in that way, yeah, it's useful. But I mean, if America's trying to protect us and they're saying like there's a chance that anything can happen, or that they, y'all might do something, I feel that's the right move, because I don't feel super comfortable with China just having my information. Not to saying,
yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
who can have your shit by now. Like anybody can have your information the way the internet is,
Pe-
but
People like to use the excuse that Facebook has. They're like, yo, Facebook has your information,
right,
Instagram has your information. They like to use that excuse, right?
right,
And
right, right.
I think it's beyond information. I feel like it's more of the power, the control over the people that these things have. You know what I'm saying? Because like TikTok has the they have the power to sway a narrative. You know what I'm saying? They can push a certain narrative, right? So
Right.
if they're against something, if they wanted to, I don't think they do it, but they can push the narrative of what they're for on the platform.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Kind of like
Right.
what they said Twitter was doing back in the day.
Right. So there's probably, I mean, obviously the House of Representatives have already voted, but there's probably really no other way around this. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably can't come to no kind of deal or nothing like that, or outside of just selling TikTok to an American company or a
Yeah.
non-China company.
Yeah, I think it's clipped for TikTok, man. I don't think there's no coming back. I think America, the United States, got they mind made up already. It's I feel like
Right.
it's over with that.
Facts. Yeah, same. I agree. I agree. But we'll see what happens with TikTok and how that goes. Because it's obviously not looking great. But hey, man, people, if you love TikTok, what happened? You were supposed to sign this petition and all this. I don't know what happened, but um, but it looks like TikTok's about to be gone. But moving on, let's move on. Let's talk next about the next light topic. Bad Boys. The new Bad Boys trailer dropped today. Bad Boys Ride or Die. I ain't gonna lie to you. I fake didn't even know this movie was coming out, or that they were this in advance with the production of this movie, that we got a full-blown trailer today. But what do you think about it, man? You ready for another Bad Boys, or you think they need to kind of just put this series to rest?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about another Bad Boys because I watched the last one. I wasn't feeling the last one like that.
Yeah.
So this one, it seems like I feel like they will kind of be like pushing it, like just trying to
Mm,
make it fire. You know what I mean?
How many Bad Boys? So
How
I
many
feel
Bad
this
Boy
got to be
films
the
are there? I
fifth
think
one,
this
right? I think
is
this is five. This is five, I believe, because Bad Boys 1, 2, 3,
yeah.
right? And then the last one was called wait, or is this the fourth one? I don't remember. It's 4 or 5. Let me look.
Bad Boys 1, 2, 3. The fourth one was the last one, so this must be the fifth one. I think
This
this is
got to
the
be a
fifth
fifth
one.
one. Yeah. So what was Bad Boys 3 about? Because I know Bad Boys 2 was the one with Gabrielle Union, but
It's the
now
fifth one.
I'm thinking, huh?
Yeah. Who was Bad
Yeah, I
Boys
know there's
3?
an
Who
ill
was in?
lag right now.
Who else was
I'm
in
trying to
Bad
look
Boys
up
3? I gotta look that up.
what was it
That's
about.
the one that came out
No,
a
that's
while
the third
ago.
one.
I
That's
think.
for life. No, there's no Bad Boys 3. It's Bad Boys 2. Then the Bad Boys for Life is the one that came out 4 years ago. And then this one is 4,
For
which is
life.
Ride or
Yeah,
Die.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Cause that's what I'm
Yeah, so
like,
this is
definitely
four.
don't know
Yep.
Bad Boys 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the fourth installment. Yeah, and so it comes out on June 7th. I saw the trailer. It looks interesting. The trailer made me laugh. Yeah, so exactly, Rachel. I feel the same way. Like I'm over Bad Boys, but I'm gonna watch it still. Because I was over the last one, but I went to see it in the movie theater, I think. Or did I wait till it? Yeah, I heard people like
Mm-hmm.
hyping it up, and I was like, yeah, it's probably not that great. But I watched it at home, and I remember I liked it. I remember it wasn't as like bad or corny as I thought it was gonna
When
be.
when you rewatched it?
Yeah, no, for the first time. I've only seen it, I think, twice, but the first time I watched it, I didn't go into it really having any high expectations, and I was kind of impressed. Like I thought it was pretty, it was better than I thought it was going to be. And then the last one, which is the one I'm talking about here, that one did really good at the box office. That one had a $90 million budget and made 426 million at the box office, which is like that's incredibly good. That's like
Damn.
yeah, so I'm not surprised they made this
Yeah,
one,
that's
and it's
really good.
directed and written by the same guys again. So I don't know. Hopefully this one. Did you see the trailer, or you didn't get a chance to check it out?
No, I didn't even see the trailer. Like this is news to me. What you telling me? Like I didn't know that this was a thing.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
So
bro.
this is
This
my
it,
first time
it
hearing about it.
just yeah, it just came out today. But so like so you don't look at, but let's take a look at these two. We got Martin Lawrence and
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith, obviously kind of getting up there in age, which is normal. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's how life works. That's what happens. But do you think like well, let's talk about Will Smith because we all know that ever since the slap heard around the world, he ain't been selling at the box office the way that he used to. And
Yeah.
I think this is one of his many attempts at like a comeback movie. I think it's gonna do well at the box office just because everybody's gonna want to go, especially I think the black community, everybody's gonna want to go see the new Bad Boys. But
Mm-hmm.
do you think Will Smith will ever be back to being Will Smith? Like how how we
Back
all loved
to
Will Smith?
that's gonna be. I mean, I don't know. It really depends on. I feel like it depends on. It may depend on this movie. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
This may
yeah,
be
yeah,
the movie where like he has to give it his all,
yeah.
or like all or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a rough few years for him. Everything down to Jada Pinkett Smith and all that stuff going on.
Right,
I feel like
right.
it's a pretty rough year for Will Smith.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And bringing it, it's interesting. Rachel wrote this. I love Martin, but you know damn well he can't do any action moves. Which is funny because I watched the trailer and I specifically watched the trailer for this because Bad Boys movies are known for the action and the explosions and the jumping and shooting, which the trailer
Yeah.
is full of that. So I was watching the trailer just trying to look and see like how much of it could I tell if it was really him or if it was really Will. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
obvious that they had some serious stunt doubles in this movie,
They probably
especially
got some
for
OD stunt
Martin.
doubles, man.
Yeah, especially for Martin, because there's a part where there's like an explosion and his character is like, and I'm like, that's not Martin. Come on, that's definitely not Martin. But you know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because when I first heard them talking about this movie after the original success of that third one, and they were talking about making this one, they were saying at first that Martin's character was kind of going to take a back role. Like he was going to become the new chief or the new captain at the police station, and he wouldn't be
Yeah.
on the road no more. And Will's character would more so be on the road. But after watching this trailer, it seems like they abandoned that idea completely. Maybe the studio didn't like it. I don't know, but it seems like it's just like the old ones where the two of them are on the street and they're in that straight up in the action. So,
Yeah.
which is crazy when you think about it, because it's like, man, they're they probably I can only imagine how much money each of them made off of this. I'm sure their checks were crazy, but it's like y'all do the acting, but then that every time the action scenes come, they just they probably walk and take the back
Just lay
and
back.
just watch somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
And
that's
then
got to
start
be
doing
a
it.
crazy feeling.
They got to be like Tom Cruise, man. Go all in, man.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking the other
Gotta
day
be like
too. I'm
Tom
like,
Cruise,
man,
man.
but everybody can't be Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody just
Yeah.
can't, because everybody just can't. I don't know what Tom Cruise is on or what he's taking that's allowing him to do all that level of stunt work, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. So Bad Boys 4, aka Bad Boys Ride or Die, is in theaters June 7th. Bad Boys is always kind of a summer movie, so we'll see this summer how it does. I'm definitely interested in seeing how it goes. Leger says we need new material, no more sequels or remakes. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that, man. There's like
And it's not
everything.
much. It's not much new material coming out, man. It's
No,
not, man. I don't get it.
it's virtually none. It's virtually none. Like everything is either a remake or a reboot or a sequel to some franchise from like 20 years ago, or you know what I'm saying, or they're doing
Yeah.
this thing with now, because you see how Barbie was just successful. I don't know if you saw the news. Now Margot Robbie's making a Sims movie, so they're making like a movie based off the Sims video game. That's gonna be a movie that she so you know what I'm saying? Like everything is just based off of a franchise. And then
Yeah.
that new Ghostbusters just came out in theaters last week or this past weekend, and I've been seeing mixed reviews about that as well. They're remaking The Crow, that Brandon that movie that
Remaking everything.
Bruce
Man.
Lee's son died in. Yeah, it's like it's kind of getting crazy, yeah, for sure. But yeah, hopefully Hollywood can start thinking about some getting some new ideas.
I
The
feel like
trailer.
they take.
Beetlejuice too. Yeah, Beetlejuice too. Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, I feel like Hollywood's taking the easy route because they know that these movies has been successful. So they're like, let's just remake it so we can make the money. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah, for sure.
They don't want to take any risk on new ideas. And
Right.
that's
Yeah, absolutely.
killing the creativity right now.
Yeah, which is crazy because it feels like, what I mean, I don't think it's based on, because there's a lot of movies that did well last year, not just commercially, but even like with the Academy and stuff like that. They did well, and I think they were more like kind of original movies as far as like not being attached to some IP, some intellectual property that already exists. Other than Barbie was the only one that was really like went crazy. That was obviously based off of Barbie's, but obviously even that was the first real live action Barbie movie. It's not like it was a remake of a Barbie movie or something like that. So, but yeah, man. Speaking of Hollywood, let's move it on. Let's talk about, man, Quiet on Set. I don't know if you and Rachel got a chance to watch this. Oh, did you watch it? Did you see it?
I watched the third and fourth episode. Those are, I guess, the more important episodes in the trilogy.
Yeah. The first two episodes, bless you.
Thank you.
The first two episodes, from what I remember, was more so about like the original older cast of all that and kind of like what they went through with Dan Schneider. And then the two episodes you saw was kind of more so about the Drake Bell saga and when Drake and Josh and Amanda Bynes and all that. But boy, God dang it, man. That was a hard thing to watch, bro. That thing felt, what I mean? What was funny about it was like before it came out and I was reading about it and seeing everybody talk about it, everybody was saying like, oh yeah, like critics who got a chance to see it, like journalists that got a chance to watch it before was like, bro, man, if you grew up on Nickelodeon, it's gonna kill your childhood. You watch this, you're gonna be. Yeah. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, nah, it can't be that deep. And I watched it, I was like, nah. I was like, bro, I don't know if you ever seen that old documentary that used to be on Netflix about that whale, Killatum, whatever it was at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The SeaWorld stuff.
Yeah, and I remember it was like it's kind of the same vibe. Like before I watched that, I was like, man, can't nothing make me feel sorry for no whale. I don't care about no whale. And then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I watched that documentary and I was like, nah, F SeaWorld. They need to bury SeaWorld under the ground. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of the same thing with this because
We didn't go to SeaWorld specifically for that.
Yeah, I was like, nah, forget it. Forget SeaWorld, bro. And it's the same thing with this because, like, originally I thought, oh, most of the blame and the actions and everything that went down is Dan Schneider. And I already knew what was going on. I already had known about the sus with
Yeah.
Dan Schneider from years now. But then when you watch the documentary, Dan Schneider is the least problematic out of all these people. It was crazy. It was like, as far as people was done, he did the least. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, the story of the mom and the daughter that was you know manipulated and assaulted through the photos by that one guy who worked there, and he was in the
Oh
house
yeah,
playing
yeah.
video
Reggie
games,
told me about that one.
and the mom let it. Which is we're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that, about how the parents, some of these parents contributed to the trauma that these kids went through. But
Yeah.
yeah, and it was just shocking to me to see that Nickelodeon knew so much of these guys were on this kind of time. One dude, one of the biggest shocks of this was the dude who had John Gacy's the well-known clown
Oh
child
yeah,
killer,
yeah, yeah. That
and
was
he
crazy.
just that was crazy. And he was in
And he got that
correspondence
on his
with this
wall.
guy while he was in prison, and had the photo just chilling on his desk. Man, like this whole thing was crazy. So let me ask you though, out of what you saw, what was something that you saw out of the 2 episodes you saw that you was like, nah, I can
Bro,
barely believe this.
the whole Drake Bell episode,
Yeah, that
everything that Drake Bell was talking about was
was like,
OD. Like I was like, dog, how do you go through your whole life with just only a minimal amount of people knowing this?
yeah,
Like
bro,
how do you just keep that inside? That's insane, bro.
insane.
That was crazy.
And
That was wild to me. I was not expecting that, like, at all.
at all, nobody was, because prior to the documentary, nobody knew he was the kid. Nobody knew he was the kid
Yeah.
that this happened to, because the court documents were sealed, so nobody knew. And it's like, yo, he continued. So one of the things that I noticed about when I was watching it is like, you see a consistent pattern of most of these parents, well, outside of the black parents and Hispanic parents, because they wasn't letting
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
slide
yeah.
with that. But you see a consistent thing with some of these parents where it's like they were seeing things, they were kind of hearing things, they had an
Yeah.
idea that, all right, something weird's going on. And man, especially that lady who her daughter ended up eventually getting sent, essentially a nude video of this guy. And even at that point, like, I'm watching the documentary and the mother's there and she's talking about it, and she's talking about how the little girl saw it, ran away to her room. The mom went and looked at the computer, saw that is what this dude sent to her daughter, and she knew who this
Yeah.
guy was, had his information, and she still did not contact the
Talk
authorities.
to nobody. That's crazy.
I can't imagine a situation where I would see any child, really, even if you're not my child, you could be my little cousin, whoever, even a family friend, and seeing that's what's happening, and I don't go to nobody. Like, I don't know, man. That's why part of me feels like a good
I don't know
chunk
how
of
you
this
did.
blame has to go with the parents. Some of this has to be put on the parents. You know what I mean? You have to be a better parent
Yeah.
than this. Like, yeah,
Yeah, nah, that's what I was saying. A lot of the blame got to go on the parents. Um, like even the Drake Bell episode, and it's crazy how the dad he was catching on to it. So he was like kind of trying to pull Drake away from certain people and things like that. And then his Drake's mom takes over, and that all that stuff started happening to Drake. And it's like,
and the guy himself, Brian Peck, he obviously played a hand in the manipulation and the gaslighting, and convinced Drake Bell that his father would be damaging to his career as his manager.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
once he got into his mind like that, and Drake was able to convince his mother also. And this is why I don't blame Drake's daddy. Because if you watch that show, Drake's daddy was like the most sympathetic, like, that you felt bad for, because he was really trying to save his son. You get what I'm saying? Because he saw something was up here.
Yeah.
And when Drake goes on to talk about how the way this kind of all came to a head, or came to a close, was he was hanging out with his girlfriend a lot, and his girlfriend's mom was actually the one who noticed that this guy was so like
blowing them up
persistent with
on the
this,
phone.
yeah, blowing up this 15-year-old kid. And it's like, dude, if Drake Bell's girlfriend's mom was able to hang out with him for a couple of
Yeah, a
times and
couple
realize
minutes.
this was
Yeah,
going on, how did Drake Bell's own mother not have any idea? And the
that's
only
bad.
thing to me that's scarier than the idea of like a parent being completely oblivious to something like this going on and allowing it to continue, the only thing scarier is a parent who knows this is going on and ignores it and
Yeah,
allows it to go on. Which to me, I don't. Yeah, that's how it was looking like for Drake's mom, because I can't. Nobody convinced me that Drake's mom had no idea. No idea. She maybe didn't know homeboy was literally physically assaulting him, maybe,
yeah,
but she had to have known something weird was going on.
yeah. She probably had inklings and maybe like, I'm gonna let it pass because these checks are coming in from Nickelodeon, or I'm gonna let it
Yep.
pass because this guy's helping his career and things like that. And it's crazy, man. I came to a conclusion the other day. I was thinking like, I think they should kind of get rid of child actors, right? Like doing full on roles. You know what I mean? Like reoccurring roles in a show, or a child actor being a main star. I feel like that um we should do away with that because these are children. Like these are children, and they are working as much as people want to. I guess
Yeah,
I
they're
mean
working.
acting
They're
is a
straight up.
job, so
Yeah.
they're working. You know what I'm saying? And putting your child to work at those times and putting them around so much people and having them be so vulnerable to different things and stuff like that, I don't think it's good. I think that there shouldn't be child actors, and if you need a child for like a movie or a show, it
Mm-hmm.
should be just like a quick thing, like what I'm saying, a quick
Right.
thing one
In and out.
day, and then in and out. Not a reoccurring role type stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult. It's a that would be the ideal, but it's a difficult thing because one of the things Drake even pointed out was like after the whole trial and everything went through, what he was hoping is that Brian Peck would have been, completely blocked or
Oh, from the industry, yeah,
dislawed from the industry and from working, or at least working on a set with any child actors. But what I found interesting is that Drake also said that, which would ultimately be everything, because he said to some extent every show or movie has a child actor. And I thought about it and
yeah,
I was like, yo, he kind of right. Like I don't remember
yeah,
the last time I completely seen any show or movie that had no children at all, like not even in the
yeah,
background. You know what I mean? So it's a crazy thing. And like you pointed out, that check, man, I think that what I like to call the orange check, because the Nickelodeon checks was orange. So I feel like that that
finally
orange
hitting.
check, yeah, bro. Like, and every week that orange check is hitting your account, and you like, damn, bro. Like
Yeah,
if we go mess this up, that's it for these orange checks. And
yeah,
it's such a sad and like, particularly for children, because again, I'm sure this kind of stuff happens to adults in Hollywood too, where they're continuously put in compromising situations to boost their
but we're gonna
career
talk
or
about
forward
that
their
later.
career. What? Oh
We'll
yeah,
talk
oh
about
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
later
yeah,
with
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, yeah. We'll talk a lot about that. Jeez, a lot of sexual deviancy going on. But it's such a compromising situation because you got to think you're a child actor. Because even like Legier just mentioned, Amanda Bynes, which we'll talk about her too, but she was like the golden child at one point, if you saw in the documentary. And it's like you're a child actor, so obviously you're a child actor. Even if you have your own show and you're on Nickelodeon, you're still not Tom Cruise or Winona Ryder or something like that. You're still a
Yeah,
child actor. But your hopes, obviously, is to graduate from that and continue into being an adult, respected, admirable actor who's getting accolades and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And getting projects and getting awards. And you and your family and parents know that everything that we have worked for to this point is down the drain if we go mess this up. You're never gonna.
yeah,
And
for sure.
I started to think about it, right? I started to think about it, and it's real because every one of them child actors, including especially the black ones that had a problem on the set, or they end up having to leave, or their parents pulled them out. You never saw them really work in Hollywood again. Not them
Career was
Nickelodeon
done.
kids. Their
Yeah,
career was done. Now the ones that kept their mouth shut, like Ariana Grande,
that was what he with her.
superstar, all of that stuff for her, which she was clearly being sexualized as a 14, 15-year-old kid. But
How do
her and
you
her parents kept
how do
their
you as
mouth
a
shut.
parent? what I'm saying? How do you as a parent just watch that?
That
Like
orange
blatant
check.
sexualization. That's crazy.
You got that orange check in your hand. It's a little different. You're like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like we're talking about now, like she obviously you never heard no complaints come out of her mouth, and her career's still going. She's probably the biggest out of them all. Same with iCarly. She still has her show now. The iCarly shows on Paramount. You know, and they're adults. You know, people kept their mouth closed. Drake, even Josh was just in that Oppenheimer movie. He still gets acting roles because he kept his mouth shut.
Kept his mouth shut. That's crazy.
You know,
bro.
so imagine if your whole career, your only thing you know in life, you didn't go to school, none of that. Your whole career depends on you keeping your mouth shut. How much of us would actually speak up and say something? You know what I'm saying? So it's a messed up situation.
Rachel brought up the other day because she knows the you used to do the whole modeling stuff, and she's like, "Yo, dodge the bullet, boy."
Yeah, that's why I be telling people all the time, and that's why I said like I was telling Jerry when we were watching the show, and a common theme that I recognized and that I remembered even from doing the modeling thing as a kid is like the actors and stuff would constantly say like their parents were on set but separated, like their parents were. And I remember from doing the modeling thing, that's how it constantly was. Like whenever we would the casting director or whatever would take us to the actual set to take photos, and the parents was always in some other section. They gave them sandwiches, food, put a movie on, whatever. Like I don't think either of my parents ever actually saw me being photographed. You get what I'm saying? Like they were never on that. Yeah, never actually seeing the act of me doing it, even though they were there. But and in a way, it's like that is what you have to do to be able to manipulate and infiltrate and gaslight. True. You gotta separate the parents completely, so the parents don't even fully see what's really going on. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, because even when I was doing the modeling thing, there was people that said weird stuff to me. I thankfully was never in no fully weird situation or compromise, but there was certainly many times that I remember that people, might have put their hands on me a little bit too much, or moved me, holding me a little bit too hard, or they was physically moving me when they didn't really. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Nickelodeon, boy, there was. I think he looks good.
What's crazy is a lot of people don't know, but there used to be this show on Nickelodeon called Gullah Gullah Island. Like it was like this black family on like this island. There was like a puppet frog and all that stuff. And I at one point got some kind of like offer to be like a like a stand-in or a backup kid to be on the show. Okay. But I think the process was that I would have to, and this was obviously like maybe 2001 or maybe in the late 90s. But the process was that I actually would have had to gone to LA to like audition or to go see a casting director ever. And my parents wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? So and I don't know, maybe part of why they wasn't with it was because they wasn't with the whole Hollywood lifestyle and knowing what might go down or whatever,
they probably got the director or the casting director probably called them like, yeah, you have to fly your son out here, but you guys have to stay at the hotel.
Yeah, but you stay
you guys have to stay. Your son could be right here with us at Nickelodeon.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And much like a lot of parents that were black that even saw on that documentary, they were even when they was from afar, they still looking, they still like,
yeah.
They, and I think, and that's why Dan Schneider and them blocked out them because like, yo, they gotta go because they too on point, you know what I mean? But man, bro, this world, you can only protect your kids so much from the realities of the world, which is why you have to be as present as possible because
for sure.
You got to be present because predators, from what I've seen, when they notice children who have a real solid home base or solid parents looking out for them, they'll kind of distance themselves and back away because they don't want to deal with that wall. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, so you definitely gotta look out, man. Let's see what Rachel said. I almost feel guilty for enjoying all these damn shows. Also makes sense that all the black shows didn't go far. Yeah, we were just talking. None of the parents were taking that. Romeo Show, Cousin Skeeter, Just Jordan. Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. You get to all them shows. Once you get to the point of giving up some booty, they was like, oh, you ain't trying to give it up. Man, I don't know about Cousin Skeeter can't go no more. And it's so sad, bro, because even like I was just watching some documentaries on like, the old black actors, the young black actors that used to be in them shows like Moesha, Sister, Half and Half, all of them joints. And most of them, they just faded out, man. If they didn't end up dying, like homie that played Romeo on the Steve Harvey show, he got shot in the head.
Oh, he did.
Other home,
And
yeah, Lamont Bentley, home from Moesha. He played Moesha's cousin on the show. He was coming from a party one night, got ejected from his car, ran
I
over it.
think I
Like,
remember that.
yeah,
And Jet
bro, a lot
Jackson.
of them.
Remember the dude who played Jet
Jed
Jackson?
Jackson killed himself. That man committed
Yeah.
suicide. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so much of these young black actors that was, because
But you
Hollywood.
see, but you see what I'm saying? Why they shouldn't have? Because name one child actor. I can only name a handful of child actors that turned out like really normal, right? Other ones is just be wilding out. Like
Wilding
I
out,
think
yeah.
Tia and Tamara are the some two
Yeah.
set of child actors that came out pretty decent. Like,
But even with
and
them,
and
they had to kind of steer their ship their own way because you didn't see them they went as far as like Disney Channel movies. They never made or
Yeah.
starred in no big ass like Hollywood production that went, you know what I mean? And then now they do the
That's
talk
true.
show thing or the Food Network thing that they're on. But,
Yeah.
and luckily YouTube and social media has given people at least opportunity to do their own thing as long as they have a
Yeah.
following.
But
But
other than that, so much child actors, they always end up like wilding out or going,
wilding out.
some mental issues or
Mhm.
whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like all of it. I can't. It's hard to name the ones that are still successful to this day. And haven't,
It's still like
wild out.
completely. Because the crazy shit is, I thought Drake Bell was one of them. I was like, oh, Drake Bell, he got his problems, but at least he doing his thing.
Yeah.
And then it comes to he the main one. He was the
Yeah.
he was like
Yeah.
he was the main one that was getting, and it's like, dang. And like Legier mentioned Amanda Bynes. Watching this,
Amanda
now
Bynes
I'm like, now I get why Amanda Bynes is the way she is.
Yeah.
But when you watch that thing, they were saying Dan Schneider was taking her in the room in his office for hours. He'd be in there. What is Dan Schneider doing with a 13, 14-year-old Amanda Bynes in his office for hours?
Yeah.
That little girl probably done seen her and been through some things she don't even, can't even block out. Yeah, like
yeah, that's facts.
It's
Holly
crazy,
weird.
man. Holly weird, bro. And so with that being said, like I just feel like I don't know, man. I mean, I'd assume now it's probably a lot, especially thanks to social media and everybody having cell phones and cameras in their pocket. It's probably a lot more cleaned up and more difficult to do these things than it was back in the early 2000s. But I don't know. I still don't think I'd feel comfortable having my kid be in that world, like being,
Definitely not. Let your children be children, man. You don't need your children working until, it's time for them to really depend on themselves and work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you wouldn't even let say they was like, all right, Matthew, $8,000 a week we'll get his kid to model for so and so. $8,000 a week.
He's
just like, hell yeah,
that's tough to say no. But after hearing all this stuff about Hollywood, it's like, damn, that's I guess that's the real physical way of selling your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Your soul,
selling your child,
your kid too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd rather myself get booked for these things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
A grown
you
man, you know what I'm saying? But a child, you don't want to go out there and work. Yeah, it's like knowing what I know now.
Knowing what you know now, right? Because with that, I was starting to think too. I'm like, man, the way this is looking, it's making Nickelodeon look like it's just some whole. Because remember, Nickelodeon's making money off of these kids. They're making way more than the kids are making. What they're giving these kids a week is chump change compared to what they're making. And not only is this a place where you're making financial gains off these children, they're going through literal traumatic, terrible sexual situations with predators. So it makes Nickelodeon itself, to me, just looks so like, oh, this just looks bad. It looks like from the top down, y'all are just some sort of like child, like it's terrible, man. But I don't know, bro. I would say that documentary definitely changed my thoughts and my opinions on Nickelodeon and the entire that whole child actor thing.
Facts.
Shoot, man, but I don't know. I wonder if Disney's next. I wonder if anybody, because I don't hear no Disney stories. I wonder if any of these Disney kids. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Because look, everything, all these Hollywood, all these things are just. You see, everybody been saying this is the truth year, pretty much, and
remember, Cat was saying this. He wasn't lying, boy.
It's the year, bro. Cat Williams
hit it. I mean, he knew it was up, bro.
This is
definitely the truth. This is the year. All right, so moving on. That was let's move on. Let's talk about next the Metro album. I mean, and there's a lot of this itself was problematic this week. But
Yeah,
before we even talk about the problematic problems that came with the album, let's talk about the album itself. I got a chance to listen to it a couple times. I probably listened to it like 3-4 times by now. Did you have a chance to listen to any of it or any of the songs
yeah,
on it
yeah. I
or
listened
not
to it.
really?
I listened to the songs on it. Yeah. I mean, aside from the diss tracks, man, I don't know if I'm feeling the rest of the album like that.
Bro, that's how I'm feeling. I'm gonna tell you this. I listened to, I think there's what, like 17 songs on it or something crazy like
Yeah.
that, maybe 18 or maybe even more. The last 5 or 6, I was like, okay, I'm messing with these. And that's what made me think like, yo, they did. But the whole other 15, 16 is like, bro, ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. Like, especially
Yeah.
as far as Future and what Future. I think Metro's last 2 albums, the Spider-Man album and his regular the Heroes and Villains I think was way better than this. Even the
Oh
beats,
yeah, for sure.
because even on the beats, I feel like Metro was like, this is what you came with. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, like I
Future,
don't know. It
he
just
came.
wasn't.
He came. I feel like on those first, like you said. I mean, just majority of the album, I feel like it was just blah. Like same old Future, kind of like
Yeah.
if you listen to a Lil Baby album right now, it's just gonna sound like the same
Mm-hmm.
Lil Baby,
Same old,
back
yeah.
to
Same
back
shit.
to forth,
Yeah.
back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's what I was getting from it. But it's that the track with Kendrick on it, that beat is insane. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
crazy. Yeah. And then the
that
one
beat
with
is
Rick Ross, the
insane.
song, the one, I don't know if you heard the one with Rick Ross. I like that one. That
I
one is
did hear that
hard.
one. Yeah. That one's hard. That one's hard.
That one's hard. Yeah.
But
But the rest of it is like, yeah, I'm like you said, it's like, bro, it's the same old Metro, man. I feel like these guys are doing a constant, the same old Metro and Future. I think these guys are doing this thing where they're constantly acting like, oh, this gonna be new, this gonna be crazy, it's a new sound,
yeah,
but it's like, bro, this is the same sound, bro. Like Offset's album was cool. I liked Offset's album, but it
yeah.
was Offset. Like it wasn't. He was acting like he was on some new thing. It
This
was
is
like, nah,
making this
like
is this these albums like Kanye. His album is blowing these albums out the water. Put it that way. Like,
right. You
this
know, and
shit
I mean,
is
I do understand that with Kanye, there's that like, you know, that more international appeal where even like people that don't even understand English and all that is like listening to Kanye.
yeah.
But this album is doing well. I think they said it's projected to be #1. I think it already sold the equivalent of like 400,000 copies or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Well, we know
which is
why
gold.
it was a fire marketing move to get
Yeah,
Kendrick on
bro.
there
Oh,
for a Future to
man.
diss Drake on whatever on the first track and Kendrick to go crazy on that one track.
Right.
Dope marketing move. I feel like that's the reason why the album is popping right now.
Popping right now, yeah, because they knew. And that's what we're gonna talk about. So, do you think like all of this is part of marketing? Like, do you think it's real? This whole beef, and you think it's real?
Yo, people are lining it up, man, and it looks so real. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these marketing moves that people are doing nowadays, they just look so real. So it's hard to tell what's real or fake.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick don't give me the type to be in on stuff like that. You know what I'm
Bullshit.
saying? Like,
Right.
to be in on bullshit like that, like him
Mm-hmm.
going hard on a verse like that, it don't give me cap. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I'm like, it may not be marketing. Yeah.
How you feel about it though? Because a lot of people, and this was mind blowing to me. I feel like Drake is at this position, as we've spoken about many times on this podcast. He's at this kind of literally untouchable position. Because what I was kind of surprised to see all the backlash. Like people really like the way Drake is capable of victimizing himself and having others victimize him with him and for him is insane. Because I'm sitting there thinking like everyone, even like Lil Wayne put out some tweet or something like, oh, the people that you think is your homies are gonna be the one that's gonna try to be your downfall or something. I'm like, bro, how much people, including men, women, and children, has Drake low-key disrespected on record on wax?
Yeah.
Not even just low-key, like blatantly disrespected. He came at Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's relationship for no reason at all, just because he was in his feelings. And that's okay. But Kendrick and Future say something about this man. Everyone's like, "Oh, these niggas are horrible." I don't even see people say, "Oh, Kendrick is a work." And it's one thing if you want to say, right? Look, okay, you're a Drake. Let's call it Drake enthusiast. You're a Drake enthusiast. I understand that. What do attachment do people have to J. Cole? I don't understand. Like, what is J. Cole doing that's making people feel like, because if there was ever a representation of what have you done for me lately, it's friggin' J. Cole. I think J. Cole knows that right now he can't even stand on his own 2 feet, which is why he has to co-do a tour with Drake. It's also why he constantly does features for and with artists who he disrespects, like trap artists that he doesn't agree with, because ain't nobody really bumping that new J. Cole. And we've spoken before on how Kendrick also, he's not exactly at the, the peak of where he was at a certain time period. I get that as well, but I don't understand this. Like, I don't get, like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel Kendrick was out of line saying any of this, or that he's a less of an artist than?
I feel like Kendrick was just really just being Kendrick, man. I don't know, because like I feel like what you're saying, I feel like that applies more to J. Cole than Kendrick, right? Because I feel like Kendrick's last album, I feel like it's like one of the. I feel like it's a classic album. The last album that he did, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, like,
right? And the Big Steppers, yeah.
That shit, I feel like that can be played for ages. Like, and somebody else showed Kendrick's line of albums, and I think minus maybe one, in my opinion. I think it was that Untitled one. That was crap to me. But the other ones, it's like he has like a classic lineup, right? And J. Cole been just dropping, he dropped some misses, what I'm saying, here and there. The main thing that J. Cole pops with is his features. Some features go hard and he's on there. Kendrick is just being Kendrick, and like I feel like he was kind of like talking his shit when he's like, what's a big 3? I'm just big me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause he's like doing his own thing. He ain't worrying about them. And the way I put it, I feel like that diss was mainly for Drake. It's just J. Cole just caught some strays. Like he was like,
because like you right there.
It's just like a what do they call it when something else gets killed and
you just in the way you was
I know you're saying you know what I'm saying?
Innocent bystander kind of thing.
I feel like that's what's up with J. Cole. I feel like those shots were mainly for Drake, because I'm sure behind the scenes Drake be doing some petty and down low stuff, and in the front of the scenes, picking at people. Kanye said it in an interview. Somebody resurfaced it. He's like, yo, the thing with Drake is he'll do like weird petty stuff just to pick at you, and then in front of your face be like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Man,
and
cool.
I'm saying, but you know what?
You know what I mean?
That is a complete reflection of the world. This is why I feel like anybody who is a Drake empathize, you a Drake enthusiast, or you have empathy for Drake, is because you represent the same kind of people. Like these people that it's like we have in life, these people that I call Prince Charmings, that we like put on these pedestals that they can do no wrong. And when they do wrong, we kind of close our eyes and be like, no, I don't see it. And Drake is the poster boy for this, for this behavior, because like I said, the man will spend, particularly when he has a new project coming out, he'll spend most of his time throwing rocks, these little ass stones, and then let somebody throw a rock at Drake. It's the end of the world. It's like, this don't make sense. Like
remember that time he cleared, that was I don't care what nobody said, she a 10 but keep her on mute. That was definitely an Ice Spice hit. Like,
right.
He was thinking of Ice Spice when he made that line, and Ice Spice, I guess, called him out on it, or not called him out, but maybe spoke to him about it. And he's like, "Oh, nah, I wasn't talking about you." You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, I wasn't talking about. Like, come on, that's corny stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, because if you listen to the lyrics on Kendrick's diss to Drake, he was like, he said, what he said, my temperament bipolar, I choose violence. And no, not that one. I'm thinking about a different track, a different record on his album. He's like, in a way, he's like, I don't want to have time to think if you're dissing me or not. If it lines up and I feel like you are, like, I'm turning up. Like, because
and that's how real,
how they say,
and that's how
hit
niggas
dog is gonna holler or whatever.
Exactly. And that's exactly how it used to be back in the day. Like, niggas didn't do this whole, like, if you diss somebody, you dissing them. You get what I'm saying? Like, which is why, to me, Piggy Bank, to this day, Piggy Bank by 50 Cent and Ether by Nas are like the best friggin' diss tracks, because they are like, there's no
straight at them.
There's no like no subtlety here. It's like I'm saying what I'm saying, and you can say something back if you want to. And also, like, I don't get why we strayed from that. Why that's like, but again, it's like it goes into the whole argument that we're getting softer as a people and as like as a culture and stuff like that, because it's like people be so quick to be like, micro bullying is okay. From what I noticed, like micro low key bullying is okay, but blatant bullying or coming at somebody is frowned upon, which I don't really understand, because to me it's like the micro shit is more weird to me, because it's like you don't even have the courage to say what's on your mind, so you're gonna do all these little microaggressions to prove your point or to make other people. Because Drake is like, to me, what he reminds me of is like that kid at school who wasn't really cool. He was fake corny, but because whatever, something about him people liked, and he never really had nothing to say, but he would say some stupid little joke or something, be like, oh, and it's like, nigga, that wasn't really that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't garner that. If someone else said that, y'all wouldn't be as reactive. But,
and
you know,
I feel like with Drake, he chooses, it's like, I don't know. With his battles, I don't know. Because remember when Meek Mill, that whole situation with Meek Mill, it's like he kind of probably knew, like, yeah, I could, it's over with this. So I feel like he came with back-to-back right away. It wasn't I feel like it was like the next day type stuff. I think it was really close. And
because like, and that's another thing. People say, do you think they want it with Kendrick? Do you think that exactly? But do you
want it with Kendrick, bro? I don't.
Not no full beef. He'll play the little micro shots. He'll do that.
Nah, he don't want
but
no real
I don't think he's not gonna go into no full. Not the way he did with Meek Mill. I don't think he would. I don't think he would do that with Kendrick. No,
that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I don't think he. Nah, he wouldn't want it. And everybody's like, oh no, Drake's gonna go crazy. I'm like, no, he's not.
Good. But bro, but listen, but what I'm saying, in their eyes, he is, because let me tell you exactly what's going to happen here. He's either gonna put out some little random song or make some little fake EP, because you know, nigga like Drake, he always got songs he didn't release, and he literally keeps them just so he could drop a new EP and then slide in one of them diss tracks on there to make it seem like he didn't really care, but really he just did that so he could slide in a diss track. So I feel like that's gonna be his next move. If he doesn't, because this album is pretty fresh still, so I doubt he gonna go make a whole new album. So he's either gonna do the little EP thing or just drop a random song, and in it, it's like whatever he says, he gonna probably say a little, and then they're gonna go like, oh, like it's crazy, just like I was saying how they do, and then it's gonna be like, Kendrick, the ball's in your court. And then what Kendrick is gonna do, because Kendrick also, I don't think he'll do this, and like, you know, just like he did that one year when he did that song with Big Sean, he like dissed everybody, and he never like followed up on it really. I think he's gonna do the same thing here. I don't think he's gonna go put more time and effort to it. He's more of like, I said what I said kind of person and walk away. You know what I mean? I don't see him putting a whole lot of effort into this. So with that being said, I think that's how people are gonna kind of concoct this whole Kendrick loss theory, because they're gonna be like, oh, Drake said the last thing and Kendrick ain't say nothing back, or, you know, I don't know. And J. Cole, I don't think J. Cole gonna say nothing if he's smart. I think J. Cole just, I don't know what's going on with J. Cole.
J. Cole is just the innocent bystander, man. He was just because he hopped on that song with Drake. That's just it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it ain't just a song, nigga. You on a whole tour. Why are you touring with Drake? What are you doing? Like, go do your own shit, bro. What are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, J. Cole himself is stepping into this whole corny thing where it's like, you can't, and people have to understand too, like the comparisons with them is kind of dumb, because they are three, if you really think about it, they're three completely different kind of artists. Drake just has that thing with him where he kind of can be a chameleon and blend into whoever he's around, because we've seen him do it with Jamaican artists, with Hispanic artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does that blend, that whole chameleon thing. But they even their careers and how they move is completely different. You know what I'm saying? Because I would say J. Cole is kind of like a rapper. Drake is a pop artist, a pop star, and then Kendrick Lamar is a hip hop artist, in my opinion. Because, and then when you really look at it, that's three completely different lanes, kind of, especially these days. So people that's acting like, and I think I could see Kendrick's frustration with that, with the whole big three, like everybody constantly trying to group them three niggas together, and it's like, why are you trying to group us together? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with these dudes. I'm not claiming to be. I remember at one point they were saying him and J. Cole were supposed to have like an album together, and even then I was kind of like, that's kind of weird, because they kind of, you know, even back then I felt like they were very different. But so it was weird. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, we'll see what happens. because I don't see this turning into the juggernaut battle that everybody's acting like it's about to happen. Like
Yeah,
niggas
I
talking
don't think it's
about
gonna be no big battle.
picking sides. Like I don't see niggas mocking up pictures of the Avengers versus, you know what I'm
Oh, the
saying?
Civil
Like it's
War,
like
the rap
yeah, the
Civil
Civil
War.
War
It
joint. It's like yeah.
was like, yo, Baby King gonna get on shit. I'm like, none of that's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. And, you know, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what goes down. Moving on though. Let's get it. Let's get to the grand finale.
Your grand
The grand
finale.
finale. Yeah, so what's we obviously all seen what's happening, man. We've been talking about it for the past couple weeks and months on the podcast, and the trials, well, no, I guess upcoming trials and tribulations of Sean P. Diddy Combs. Wow, man, what the hell?
Everything came into fruition.
Yesterday, everything came into fruition. It sure did. And every time, I with the events that took place yesterday and everything that's coming out now, the Cat Williams just keeps playing in my mind when he's like, bro, it's
No,
gonna be truth. The truth is coming, and it's like
no,
this man, he knew
not
what he
even
was
just
talking
that.
about.
Did you see the psychic lady? Did you see with her? How she
Psychic lady,
called
no.
out that there's a psychic lady. I think her name's Sloan Bella. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel, if you're still listening. But she called all of this out months ago. She said around Easter, around March, P. Diddy is going to go down for all the stuff that he did. You know what I'm saying? Because she was channeling, I guess, what's P. Diddy's wife? Kim Porter.
Kim Porter, because they say he has something to do with that, yeah.
Yeah, he was channeling her energy, and she's like, yeah, he's going to go down around Easter, da-da-da. This is what's going to happen. And everything lined up. And this nigga, bro.
Oh, my God.
This stuff is crazy. The fact that, and have they even found him? Because supposedly he
flew. He went to he went to some island.
Cleared it. This sounds like some movie stuff. Like,
yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So obviously he probably was tipped off, or he knew something was. But which is to me is weird, because like if you was tipped off and you knew something was happening, why you still had your kids in the house? Why you had Justin and Christian and all them niggas?
What?
Why you had them?
When I see, no, come on, that's a movie seat right there, bro. The
like
your house, you're on a plane. Your kids don't even know that they about to get ready.
Word, like, bro, you couldn't shoot them to text something. You know what I'm saying,
real, bro? Bro, I'd be tight. You want to be my dad no more? Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, like, bro, you could have warned me. You had us looking crazy, bro. You had us outside on TV. Helicopters are flying over. We in handcuffs, bro.
Yo,
but okay, so let me ask you this. Let's get into more like conversations about it. Do you think all the allegations are true? Do you think P. Diddy is a straight up human trafficker, has been doing this for years? All the sex parties, the sex dungeon, the what he did to Cassie, and do you think all this true?
So the way I believe it, because a lot of people, I feel like they go way too far with their imagination, right? When it comes to
conspiracies,
the conspiracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, a lot of conspiracies, I'm borderline on, right? So I feel like with Diddy, everything that Cassie put in her lawsuit, I believe that all of that is true, and maybe he was doing that with different women. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it kind of stops at that. I honestly, and maybe other men too, because another man came out saying, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like it was like an abuse of power and just freakiness, you know what I'm saying, and freak offs and all that stuff.
And let's not forget, P. Diddy has been wealthy rich since maybe 92, 93, 94, early 90s, around there. He's been extremely rich and powerful. And here's my thing.
Go ahead.
If and we could talk about this too. I've seen a lot of the black community on that, look at them. They trying to bring down a black man. They just don't want to see a black man with power. Look how quick they ready to bring down this powerful mogul. My thing is like, bro, I believe every damn thing, everything that is said, everything. There's not one piece of this that I don't believe. And because you know what really, and I'll put up the picture right here. This picture right here is what sold me on Diddy. This picture that I got up here right now. This picture was taken at Burning Man. I don't know do you know what Burning Man is? What the Burning Man festival is?
the Burning Man festival. Nah.
Right. Burning Man is a festival that's done in the desert out in Nevada every year. And they have like it's basically a, you know, they there's a lot of drugs, people take psychedelics, people take all like DMT,
Yeah.
all that stuff like that. And they have this big wooden statue of, which is why they call it Burning Man. And at the end of the festival, they burn it down. Everyone is around the fire and stuff. But
Yeah.
one of the main things that Burning Man is known for is its intense sexual deviancy. There's literal tents. You can go to Burning Man. There's tents with people having orgies. There's tents with all types of weird, freaky stuff going on at Burning Man, right? Which is why normally when it comes to Burning Man, you don't see or hear rappers going to it. You don't hear the black community really talking about Burning Man. It's really like a, you know, crazy hippie white people kind of thing. And then one year, whatever, I see pictures of P. Diddy at Burning Man. And I'm like, yo.
There, boy, he that's what he needed. He was probably seeing it. It was like, yeah, I need to be there. What you mean?
I'm like, what? And then I'm like, yo, as soon as I seen, I'm like, something up here. Because the stories I heard about Burning Man. And when you look at these pictures of P. Diddy at Burning Man, he looks extremely comfortable. He doesn't look like he's surprised by anything or that he's in an environment where he ain't used to what's going on. He looks extremely comfortable. And I don't remember, this was I forget which Burning Man this was, but it was at least 10 years ago. Yeah, it had to be Burning Man, maybe even like 2010 or something, or 13 around there. But from I seen them pictures, bro, I'm like, yeah, Diddy, he different because
and where'd you say this Burning Man thing is at? Where like what's it?
It happens in Nevada every year. Nevada, America, okay. In the desert. It's in there's because even when you're out there, they recommend everyone has to like wear goggles and all types of stuff because you'll just have sand on you, like it's just straight up in the desert. Like if you Google pictures of Burning Man, is just weird, crazy stuff. People in weird costumes, weird art stuff. Yeah, man. If I'm looking what I'm seeing here in the article, Diddy himself said after he left Burning Man, he'll never be the same. So I don't even know what he got into there. Maybe he met some more people. I don't know.
You know, I mean, I feel like I said, because like I said, people take their imagination and you know they do with what it is, but you know a lot of these things they are things like that. You know what I'm saying? And people they like to put it to like this hocus pocus stuff or whatever, but I don't know if you heard like a hedonism hotels and stuff like that. Like
yeah, that's basically like stuff like that. Yeah,
these are things that people that like people go to. I mean, like there's people who actually go to hedonism hotels all the time. I'm just sure P. Diddy got into that, right? But I feel like P. Diddy kind of took it too. He took his power and added to it and starts forcing people to do these freaky things, you know what I'm saying? Like forcing Cassie to have freak offs in different places, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and all these stories,
this is just I
looked up some videos. You can't do that, and that's what I'm saying. Because again, I think we talked about this even in LA a little bit. Like, it's technically not illegal to be a sexual deviant. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of sexually deviant things that there's no law against them. It's just taboo and weird. But then obviously when you're like, if you're what they're accusing Diddy of is true, you're crossing the line now into literally like, again, sex trafficking. Because if there was even one situation where he made or persuade Cassie or any other woman to have sex with a man and received money from that or videotaped it and sold it, that's sex trafficking, bro. That's sex trafficking, and that's illegal. And so if that's the case, now if Diddy's just some freaky dude who likes to have sex with little Asian men or something like that or whatever, do what you do, bro. No need to send him to lock him away and do it. You know what I'm saying? If he's just a little freaky dude, cool. Do you? But if he's doing anything illegal, I don't feel sorry for this man, bro. I really don't. And we were talking about what's with the reaction you're seeing from the black community? Because like I said, I'm seeing a lot of black people like, oh, leave Diddy alone. He ain't do this. Y'all just trying to ruin a mogul. Y'all trying to ruin a black man with power. I'm just like, bro, I think we gotta really start.
I'm seeing
Go ahead.
Responses. So I'm seeing that one where they're like, oh, they're trying to bring a black man down. Why don't they bring this person? Like, yeah, I'm seeing that, and I'm like, bro, if he's doing illegal stuff, he's gonna be taken down. You know what I'm saying? They did whatever with Epstein, and as much as people have their conspiracies, like the man got locked up and he killed himself or got killed or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Didn't they get Harvey Weinstein? Is he locked up right now?
Yeah, he's locked up. He's locked up. Yeah, he's locked up. And then even R.
Epstein's
Kelly.
locked up.
I don't understand. If
R.
any black
Kelly's
people, if
locked
you
up.
cool with R. Kelly being locked up, how are you? What is the excuse
Yeah.
for Diddy?
So if you're gonna
Like,
be
I
out
don't.
here doing some crazy stuff like that, some wild stuff like that, I mean, it just is what it is, man.
It is what it
You're
is.
gonna get you're gonna get messed up for it. You know what I'm saying?
And so, what do you think is the? I mean, obviously, what we're gonna. I think they haven't disclosed if or what they found at at his homes, because they raided 3 of his homes, one in LA, one in Miami, and one in New York. I'd assume there's no way, in my opinion, they could have raided all of that and not found nothing. If he has something to hide, they gotta have found
They
something.
probably found a bunch of they probably found a bunch of sex toys. Apparently, Diddy be having mad
Yeah,
dildos and stuff like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're gonna do testing on the dildos. Like,
yeah.
dude was just
And I'm
probably
sure
some
he probably has
super
computers
freaky
with some
dude, man.
files. Yeah.
Yeah, video.
Um.
Oh, yes. Yeah, videos of the stuff that he probably videotaped a lot of it, which is the same thing that Epstein did. Oddly, what's up
Mhm.
with these dudes, man? It's just some super freaky dudes anyway. So yeah, he probably videoed a lot, and and what I was gonna say, supposedly, like I said, going back to the psychic lady Sloan, she said that there's like a phone with a lot of files on it, and it's in somebody's possession, and the cops are going to find it. So if there's somehow like comes out with a phone, then that's probably like something with some crazy
Wow.
details on it. Who knows if it has something to
Yeah.
do with Kim Porter's death or
And
whatever? And
that's
I don't know.
listen, bro. I don't, like I said, I don't feel sorry for him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out and what's released and what we find out from what he's been doing. But
Yeah,
bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. If there's one thing that I'm hoping is not true and that does not come out as true, is that he has something to do with them, that those children's mother died. You know what I'm saying? I
yo,
hope
that'll
that
be
that
OD.
is just some straight up. I'm hoping to God that that is just nonsense and that's there's no kind of evidence to that, because because unless, which I'd assume no way possible, unless his kids already know all of what's going on and know that he did that, how devastating is that going to be to them to find out in a courtroom that their father had their mother killed? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like, so
that'll be OD. That'll be OD.
especially for whatever, because what are they saying? They're saying the reason that he had her killed because she was about to expose him, maybe, or that she knew too much.
Uh, I, I mean, conspiracy. I don't know what the psychic lady said, but conspiracy wise, yeah, they believe that Kim Porter just kind of was gonna
Mm-hmm.
expose. I don't think he was treating her right. Maybe he was trying doing the same stuff that to her that he was doing to Cassie, or you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
just things of that nature. And there's a point of, apparently she probably didn't feel that she probably felt like her life was in danger. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because if you knew all this about somebody, you know what I'm saying, I would think this nigga could get me killed.
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
get me killed.
Or maybe she knows details of stuff that he did. Somebody brought up like lyrics that Rick Ross said in a song, and he's like, he said something to the fact of like, yeah, I got Diddy, boom, 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 like got the killers or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it really, damn, like everybody was like, yo, this whole time we over here scared of Suge when we was supposed to be scared of Diddy. Like this nigga, this
Yo,
nigga was
and that's what I'm
the
saying.
one.
Because even
Nah,
like
it was
we
Suge.
discussed before, like when we had check on him, we was talking about how I feel like it's true he has something to do with the death of Pac. He might have, you know what I'm saying, he might have pulled the trigger on that, or might have gave home, you know what I'm saying. So
At, at this point, I mean, and when you think about it, bro, remember Shine got locked up for shooting for
yes,
Diddy.
and from what but even when niggas and said that that wasn't really Shine, that Diddy was just that it was Diddy who shot, but
Oh,
Diddy
Diddy who
just
pulled the trigger.
yeah, Diddy who pulled the trigger, but Shine was obviously the fall man. Like,
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And a lot of people even say this has a lot to do with Shine getting out and his connections, and because he's like the prime minister, whatever he is in Belize, he's some big
yeah,
governor
Prime
now in
Minister.
Belize and all. Yeah, so niggas saying that maybe this is what get maybe that night Diddy held him down. I was like, look, bro, trust me, you do this for me, you will be good. And and Shine, because remember it was weird. Shine at the time was at the kind of, he was like, I would say the position Shine was at that time when that happened, he was kind of like at a position I'd say maybe a nigga like maybe like Kendrick is at, or maybe not, maybe
Yeah,
like like he was kind of like the one, like a big deal. And then went out. I don't know if your camera.
Nah, hold on. My camera probably died. 1 second, 1 second.
Yep.
I'm about to be back up. All right, we good.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, like he, and then the way it happened with Sean, he just like disappeared because obviously he went to jail. I think he went to Rikers or some shit for a little. Then they deported him straight to Belize. And it was just weird how that went down. Like Sean went from being this rapper that was like coming up with Diddy and was like he was basically the new version of Big, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden gone, like because of this situation with Diddy one night in a club. And I'm just like, I don't know, bro, fishy. Everything when you see this, everything with Diddy looks fishy now, like everything.
yeah,
So
yeah. Everything, bro.
yeah, man.
Everything, bro.
And
Even going back to interviews with him. There was an interview with Cassie. The lady was talking to Cassie, and she was like, "So, you got any secrets to tell?" And you see Diddy's face like stare at her like, "Yeah, you better
word,
not
like don't say
no
nothing.
dumb
Yeah,
shit right now."
yeah,
And she's
yeah,
like, "Any secrets is gonna be between me and him."
yeah, yeah.
But he was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then,
I
oh,
don't know.
Did you see? So after the whole thing with Diddy, Young Miami posted on Twitter. She was like, it's gonna be like a lit summer." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
something. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what did he do to Young Miami? Like now I'm wondering if he did some crazier stuff to Young Miami to where she's like kind of happy that he's getting locked up.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if that. I feel like I don't know when she tweeted that if that was a reference to the Diddy thing because I feel like most of them, all of them, is just gonna have probably been under heavy instruction to keep their mouth shut, especially like the people
She
closest to him.
tweeted that, and she, tw-
She tweeted that one.
she tweeted in the middle of everything going on,
Yeah, I know.
and
I
she kept
seen that,
dodging
but then
yeah, she
and
dodging
she kept
everybody
dodging what?
saying, "Yo." Dodging the questions where people are like, "Yo, you don't see what's going on with Diddy right now." She was dodging everything,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
She
then I
ain't gonna
think
say
she
nothing to
did
you.
say something to it.
Yo, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because we all know the feds don't do a sweep unless they have good reason, unless they know something's gonna come of it. So I feel like if they know something's gonna come of this, and they have a lot of evidence, they probably because remember we didn't even until Young Thug got deep into it, we didn't know everything the state had on him, and
Yeah,
it might be the same situation with Diddy. It might not be until we're in the heat of this trial or whatever that we see. Um, yeah, man. I hope the twin girls are okay. I hope they're okay. Like I said,
yeah,
let me make that clear too. I don't feel sorry for his kids in no type of way neither. The only I feel sorry for them in the extent of if their mother was unjustly murdered by their father just for knowing information, then I feel sorry for them. But the rest of it, first off, all his kids are assholes. They are all assholes. Like I don't know about the girls because they obviously
yeah,
don't, they're not very like vocal on that. But Chauncey, Christian, just whatever them three niggas, they are all assholes. And one of them I know is not really his son. I think Chauncey is but yeah, I don't feel sorry for none of them. They have more than enough money and influence to be okay because even if Diddy gets sent away for the rest of eternity, they are fine. So you know what I mean, and that's what it is. So I don't feel sorry for them that way. But if their mother was murdered, then yes, that is extremely, extremely unfortunate and sad, and they shouldn't have to go through that because that lady ain't do nothing. But yeah, man, I don't know, bro. The whole Diddy thing is crazy, bro, because it's like this is obviously someone who has been very dominant in not only just in the eyes of black people in the black community, but in music business. I'd assume he got to be, as far as a takedown, if you want to call this a takedown, he's got to be the biggest music mogul ever taken down.
This is a huge thing to hip hop, and it's crazy because it's not only sex. I remember seeing something that said sex trafficking and RICO.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's probably more to it than what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
because remember they just caught today. They caught the little dude, the little white kid. They're saying this is drug mule or something like that. So even that, like, why would you need a whole drug mule?
I would not be surprised if they really have some kind of evidence in the when they got the dude who actually supposedly pulled the trigger on Tupac, and they went through his stuff, and they really got some evidence on Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I would not be surprised.
And that's what made me think maybe that's how they started all this. Maybe that man just even telling them certain stuff. They probably sat him down in a room and he was like, "Look, I'm telling y'all everything," and told him what they know. Yeah. And that's what led them to start being like, okay, we got to really start looking into Diddy now. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, prior to yesterday when all this broke out that they were raiding him and it was all over the news, I really just thought like this was gonna fade. You know what I'm saying? Like I really just thought like, This is on because it was mostly memes. Like up until yesterday, it was really just memes and
Yeah,
people
yeah,
making
exactly.
jokes. You know what I mean? It wasn't really no hardcore evidence or nothing. But then when that shit went out yesterday, I'm like, oh, like it's not just memes. This is real. Like, like,
So
yo,
I think it's probably this whole situation may be deeper than the sexual trafficking stuff. Like that may just be the thing to really get him in handcuffs for, like all the
right. And then what?
accusations,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
probably got some evidence for these accusations, like the Cassie
Mhm.
situation. That was probably
Yeah.
some bait, like, oh, let's see what he does with this Cassie situation. Boom,
Right, right,
he
right.
settled, he settled,
He said, oh, yeah.
and then you know what I'm saying they probably got some real other people giving them testimonies or whatever, and
Of course, because especially when they
he
seen
was able to get
Cassie
him in
got money.
handcuffs.
You
Hmm.
know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
probably
When Cassie
okay.
got
There we go.
money,
There's some guilt. There's some somewhat of some guilt right there, and boom, the rest of them they found some evidence. They can lock them up for that. And the real deal is probably that Rico. Whatever they got with this Rico,
yeah.
I don't know.
Because even with the Cassie thing, it's like, bro, when I saw that he settled out of court, I was like, something weird about that. Because if Cassie
Yeah,
was
yeah,
making all this up and it was a lie, wouldn't you take it to trial or take it to whoever and make her like just like Johnny Depp did? What's her name was trying to do the same thing to Johnny Depp. She tried to say all this stuff that wasn't true,
mm-hmm.
and Johnny Depp knew was. She's like, all right, let's go to trial. Since I did this, show the proof.
Yeah,
And the all the proof made her look like the aggressor, not him. So it's like if all these things being said about Diddy is lies, why is he selling out of court? Why is he being so quiet? Why is all his accounts? He's not saying nothing. He's not tweeting nothing. His kids ain't saying nothing. Everyone's is on hush hush. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
It just don't look good, man. Um. So what do you think? Say this goes through and ultimately some trial does happen and Diddy's maybe even convicted, sharing a cell with R. Kelly. What do you think changed? Do you think this changes anything in hip hop or as far as, Bad Boys? Because Bad Boy Records is kind of hip hop, bro. It's got next to Def Jam. It's
Yeah.
like, it's the culture.
It's gonna change a lot. I feel like with hip hop. I mean, yo, P Diddy been around in hip hop forever, so there's gonna be a lot of changes. It's gonna be a real big shift. You know, I don't know where this shift is gonna go, but it's gonna be a big shift. It's gonna be different.
For
You know what
sure.
I mean?
For sure. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's the Diddy talk. We will, Diddy did it. Did he do it? You know what I'm saying? Like
Did he do it?
we'll see if he did. And we'll keep up with that. Yeah, man. Justice for Justin Bieber.
Justin
Oh yeah,
Bieber.
even Justin Bieber. What Justin probably knows seen some things too, man. Another
Probably
person he
Justin
changed.
Bieber, Usher probably seen some stuff.
Usher has interviews where he was saying, you can look at it, Usher was having interviews where he was saying, man, I was set. They sent me to Diddy's house at a young age, and I was living there, and I saw some things. And they asked Usher, would you send your kid to live at Diddy's house? And he said, hell no, I would not. I would not let my kid live at
Not at
Diddy's
all.
house. But he let Justin
Yo,
Bieber live there. So,
Diddy want freak, bro. Like just off of the Cassie stuff, bro. Diddy want
Usher was
freaky
like,
ass
Justin
nigga. How do you
Bieber ain't my
get there,
son.
bro?
Get where? What do you mean?
How do you get to this level of freakiness, bro? Like,
Bro, we're
P. Diddy's
seeing it
OG.
just by the same way the stuff went on and continued at Nickelodeon. People
Yeah.
not saying nothing and allowing people to just the only thing more dangerous than someone who is an aggressor, a pedophile, hurts children, whatever. The only people that are more dangerous than the people that do that stuff is the people that keep it quiet. Y'all are more dangerous than the people that are doing it. You get what I'm saying? Because keeping these things quiet enables people to be like, oh, no one's saying nothing. And that's human behavior, really. Because we even see that with little kids. Sure, if you don't correct them and say stop, they're gonna like, okay, I'm getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're at your job, even as an adult, and you're stealing time off the clock, and your boss ain't saying nothing, you're gonna keep stealing time. You're not gonna stop stealing the time. Like that's just how we operate as humans. So the reason I think P. Diddy was able to do this for so long is because ain't nobody saying nothing. And then the minute somebody like Cassie opens their mouth, everyone's like, oh no, you lying. You trying to get a check. You trying to get the bag. The minute Amanda Bynes starts acting crazy and starts doing, oh, you just crazy. You just on drugs. Okay.
Some serious stuff behind it, man. I'm here thinking like, yo, Meek Mill. This is just this whole situation is just making Meek Mill look even more sus, bro.
Meek Mill's making Meek Mill look sus. He has yet to deny anything. He hasn't denied one thing. Meek Mill has not said once, I did not do any of those things. He has not said that.
Yo,
So again, I don't know. And you know what? Again, I will repeat. If there is no actual illegal activity involved and all these people are just sexually freaky, it's okay. It's okay. If Meek Mill is gay or bisexual or whatever he is, he should not have to hide that. He should not have to feel like he has to go to Diddy's house after midnight and hide in Diddy's room and get it out there. He should be able to fully express himself and be that way. But because of how we are in the black community and in the hip hop culture, and toxic masculinity itself, people like Diddy have to do the Diddy on the low. You know what I'm saying? And can't be, because if Diddy, like if you just a freak on Diddy, do your freaky thing. Do every freaky thing you want to do under the sun. If you're not hurting nobody and you're not doing illegal activity, do what you do. He could have dildo. Dildos ain't illegal. If he want to have dildo 1,000, they ain't illegal. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I don't know. They're saying it's more than that. So if it's more than that,
I wonder if Diddy was just trying to get everybody that he ran into into the stuff that he was into. You know?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. He at least presented it. He at least was like, you know what I mean?
Calling all these niggas daddy on these interviews.
Yes. Even that is sus. And again, these are little micro things so that you can see, is this person, are they with it? Are they, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure when a couple of times he was around Meek Mill, whoever, and he dropped the daddy or the baby, and they didn't correct him or be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's probably yeah.
Because who was he with? There's an interview where he's at the studio. I think he's with like Fabulous and Jadakiss.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying baby and daddy and all this, and then eventually they're like, bro, like why you like?
Come on, man. Ain't no
like, why you keep calling me daddy and baby?
Yeah. I'll be like, all right, we gonna stop this shit.
Like, bro, you gotta chill, because if I don't correct you, people gonna think I'm with you on this, and that's not what the situation is. Like, you can't keep trying me. Like Kat said, Diddy's gonna want to have to put you have to tell him no. You have to tell him.
Got to tell. Yeah, that's true. And it's like, bro, it just shows, it's crazy. It just shows how pussy or just how just weak some of these dudes that are supposed to be, I guess, tough are, right?
But are you weak or do you want it?
I mean, I don't know, because I just have a hard time believing all them dudes really wanted it.
But my thing
I have a hard time believing
how do you put me as a grown man in this, unless I want this? How do you put me in this situation? How does Diddy get a grown Meek Mill from the streets of Philadelphia, who's allegedly a street thug and been on the streets his whole life? How does Diddy persuade you into doing something you don't want to do?
I guess it starts by him calling him baby and daddy and just liking it.
Any man who don't want it, gonna be like, bro, we gotta cut it there. You cannot call my phone and text me calling me baby.
But that's what I'm saying. So like some of them, so dudes who like cut him off kind of for doing some weird stuff like that, like 50 Cent.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised. I want to hear really why J. Cole smacked him. And it probably was for that.
It was J. Cole? It was J. Cole?
Yeah, it was J. Cole. J. Cole smacked the hell out of Diddy, bro. And it was probably because Diddy probably was like, what's up, baby? It probably was drunk, you know what I'm saying?
This nigga's like, bro,
hey, baby,
bro,
I would have smacked him too. Like, yo, shut up, bro. What is
and
wrong
you could
with
tell you exactly. And you could tell he the type of nigga, he probably do this and try you every time he see you. Like, he probably try to like say something or do something or invite you back to the crib. And he's like, bro, I'm not gonna expose you, but leave me alone. Like, just leave me. I don't want to do this stuff with you. Like,
I would not be surprised. So people like 50 Cent, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? If Cat Williams really got invited to a party and he said no.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? But the other dudes,
I feel like niggas know. They know. Because even 50 Cent, I'm like, why 50 Cent so... Why he just be drilling like Diddy, like just like making fun of, and Diddy don't say nothing. Diddy don't ever be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then so I started to even back. I'm like, 50 Cent must know something about Diddy or must have something over him, because 50 Cent be just crushing him and he don't say nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And even the other day with Kanye West, when Kanye posted, Kanye texted him, and Kanye was like, he's texting Kanye like, "Oh, I'm gonna see you. Don't worry, we gonna." And Kanye like, "Nigga, leave me alone. Like you, like stop, fucking. I don't want to see you. Like I don't." And even when Kanye posted that on Instagram, did he comments on? He's like, "I'm gonna see you soon" with like a winky face or something. Like, nigga, stop being like this. Like, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. And I feel like, you know, you can only get away with so much for so long, especially if you keep bothering people and trying to like bring people into your lifestyle, man. You can't, bro. It's bad. It's bad. But yeah, man. Shout out to Diddy, and I hope the situation gets figured out.
Yeah.
And I hope maybe this is all just a big misunderstanding somehow.
Yeah. I would love for it to be a misunderstanding, bro. And he just
somehow
just you know, we left it at just a freaky nigga, like, you know.
Yeah, like that's what I want. I just want to know that he's just a freaky nigga, and that is that, and that we just pride in his business too much, and that's that. I just
like Dwight Howard.
He
just need to be like Dwight Howard.
Word.
Dwight was like, hey,
he's just
man,
freaky.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm just a freak.
I'm just a freaky nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have all right to be that way. That's it. Just don't do no human trafficking or make Cassie have sex with people on camera. Like, that's when you start to lose me, because I'm like, bro, you can't do that. But yeah, man, we gonna see what happens with Diddy. You know, we almost at an hour and a half. We're not gonna go too crazy with the time. I don't know if you want to still talk about LA for a little bit, just like, you know, quick 2-3 minutes. We talk about what we went through. So what was some of the highlights for you, man? I love LA. I think LA is yeah, bro. I don't know. Maybe just because I have starry eyes when I go out there, because I live on we live on the other side of the coast.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, you know,
what I mean?
You get that travel effect. It's, you know, every time I go out to LA, weather nice, the views when you know, walk up the canyons.
And all the mountains, and
even down to a Lakers game. I've been to I've been to the Miami Heat game. I've been to Orlando Magic game. It's just a different vibe going to a Lakers game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, complete different vibe. So, we got to see LeBron play, you know what I'm saying, for the first time, maybe the last. Again, this is probably going to be closing, coming to an end of his career. So that was definitely cool to see that. And, you know, like I wasn't even really thinking about it until we came back, and we were kind of like, I think I was talking to Dre, and we were kind of like talking about the trip and stuff like that. Like, even the vibe in LA is just it feels so much like a community, you know what I'm saying? Like, about with certain things. Like, I remember even being out there in front of the, you know, what used to be the Staples Center, the crypto arena now. And in front of that Kobe trophy, and everybody was out there vibing and playing music, and the statue, and everybody was kind of just like chilling and taking pictures in front of it. And people were out there doing, because even that, like the vibe at the crypto is like a whole community itself. Like, you could tell niggas is out there, even if they're not going into the game, they're just out there supporting and being in the environment, which I really thought that was cool, bro. I think, you know, and the love that they have for Kobe out there is really, you know, it's cool to see that. You know what I mean?
It's dope to see that in person.
Definitely dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, in person. Like, it was definitely cool to see it in person, because you feel it. You feel me? Like, even being at, I was thinking, like, bro, when he's losing in the playoffs, it's got to be crazy in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even the energy in that arena just off that exhibition game was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they were just playing. Who they play? They played the Warriors. No, was it the Warriors?
Who were they playing? They were playing I already forgot who they playing.
Not the Warriors. The Wizards. No,
Wizards,
or what they call now?
Wizards.
The Wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why I said the Warriors. Yeah. But yeah, they were playing the Wizards, and it was a really good game. It went into overtime too. And it was a fun game to watch, bro. The vibes, and to me, the food, bro. That LA food, I feel like that went crazy. I don't think every time I've been there at least 5-6 times, and every time I've been there, I don't remember eating anything that was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything has always been good. So, and we got a lot of footage. I know we some of y'all might have seen that we put out, you know, like the Disney footage. But I'm still in the process of editing the food footage from that we got out there. Yeah, and I'm editing, you know, just like the overall stuff that we recorded everywhere else we went.
Especially the experience at Nobu.
Yeah, bro. Nobu was crazy, bro.
Dope,
yeah,
man. Knowing that
if you ever go to chance, yeah, and just the environment there was really crazy, and like it was a beautiful vibe, and like the view, the ocean and stuff like that, because we went to the one in Malibu, you know, obviously there's a couple of different ones, but it was cool, like just the vibe out there. You just feel like it's such a place where you feel like so much things can get done. You get what I'm saying? Like you feel out here, people are really working and networking and like and getting stuff done. So it's just a good vibe. Yeah, man. And like I said, editing the footage, and we're definitely gonna put out the footage. You know, it was fun driving the Tesla out there and going to the malls and stuff like that, and everything we did. So yeah, so all that footage coming soon. Everybody just stick around. It'll be out probably this weekend. But yo, anything else? You got anything else you want to say or comment on? Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm good, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Rachel, Leger, Kira came through.
Yeah, man. Everybody that was in there
just came through and watched. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, there was a couple of people.
Just keep tuning in,
between
man.
Facebook and YouTube.
A lot of dope things coming.
Yeah, a lot of dope stuff coming in. Live might not be every week now, but we still definitely gonna keep it coming, and we're gonna just, you know, as far as the news goes, we're gonna keep going with the news. Shout out to everybody again that was in the chat. Thank you. Everybody have a still early. We're trying to do it earlier now, so it's only 10. Everybody have a good rest of your night.
Facts.
Peace.
Peace.